Okay, if there is a historical Moses, where is this guy? I mean, where was he buried?
According to the biblical tradition, he ended on the other side of the valley.
In a world where ancient mysteries intertwine with modern exploration, the search for one of history's most legendary figures has captivated countless hearts and minds. Imagine the excitement of uncovering the final resting place of Moses, a man revered in 3 of the world's great religions. As researchers traverse deserts, sift through ancient texts, and delve into the depths of faith, they inch closer to unraveling this enduring enigma. Could this be the breakthrough we've all been waiting for? Join us as we dive into the incredible revelations of Josh Gates. We finally found Moses' tomb. The legend of Moses. Moses, a pivotal figure in the Old Testament, is celebrated as a liberator and a lawgiver. His life is marked by extraordinary events, showcasing God's power and a profound commitment to his people. Born to Hebrew parents during a time of oppression in Egypt, Moses was raised in Pharaoh's palace. Yet he never forgot his roots. God called upon Moses to confront Pharaoh and demand the release of the Israelites, who were enslaved in Egypt. Armed with divine power, Moses performed miracles, including turning water into blood and summoning frogs, gnats, and locusts. Each plague intensified Pharaoh's heart, but it wasn't until the Passover, the angel of death striking down the firstborn in Egypt, that Pharaoh finally relented. However, he soon changed his mind and pursued Moses and the Israelites as they fled. The dramatic escape reached its climax at the Red Sea. With the Israelites trapped between the sea and Pharaoh's army, Moses raised his staff, and God parted the waters, allowing the people to cross on dry ground. Once safely on the other side, Moses watched as the sea closed over the pursuing soldiers, marking a definitive end to their oppression. As the Israelites journeyed toward the Promised Land, God established a covenant with them at Mount Sinai, delivering the 10 Commandments through Moses. These laws formed the foundation of Israelite identity and worship, guiding the people in their relationship with God. Moses led his people for 40 years, but was not permitted to enter the Promised Land himself. After viewing the land from Mount Nebo, he died there at the age of 120. His death marked the end of an era, but his legacy as a liberator and lawgiver endures, embodying the enduring themes of faith, obedience, and covenant with God. Even though Moses passed away many centuries ago, the quest to discover his final resting place endures to this day. Secrets beneath the Sea of Galilee. In the tranquil waters of the Sea of Galilee, where gentle waves whisper tales from the Gospels, including the miracles of Jesus, who walked upon its surface and calmed its storms, a remarkable expedition unfolded, spearheaded by Josh Gates and his team from the show Expedition Unknown. Their mission was not merely to enjoy the scenic views, but to dive deep into the lake's mysteries, unveiling secrets that date back to a time long before our own.
This image is three-dimensional as we crossed in different profiles.
The focal point of their quest was an enigmatic structure believed to hold ancient history, potentially linked to events around 1513 BCE. At the heart of this adventure lies the legend of Miriams Well. According to Jewish tradition, this well is closely associated with the beloved figure of Miriam, Moses' sister. The curious question that arises, however, is why this well is now submerged in the Sea of Galilee when Miriam passed away elsewhere. Could it be that beneath the surface of this tranquil lake lies a remarkable secret, perhaps even the elusive tomb of Moses himself? With this thrilling possibility in mind, the research team set out to trace small stones discovered in the Sea of Galilee, believed to be connected to Miriam's well. They speculated that these stones might have been transported into the sea by an ancient watercourse known as Yavneel Creek, which once flowed into the Jordan River. Armed with specialized equipment, they meticulously scanned the lake bed.
There's no question this was constructed. It's just such an oddity on the seafloor.
Eager to uncover the hidden history that lay below, their efforts soon bore fruit when they discovered a significant mound of rocks in an otherwise flat expanse of the lake floor. Professor Marco from Tel Aviv University expressed excitement about diving down for a closer look. What they found was nothing short of astonishing. A massive stone formation made of volcanic basalt rocks, each measuring about 3 feet in length. This colossal structure, resembling a cone, was built from rough, unshaped basalt boulders and weighed approximately 60,000 tons, surpassing even the weight of many modern warships. Standing nearly 32 feet tall and spanning about 230 feet in width, this underwater marvel dwarfed the famous Stonehenge in England. Upon closer inspection through scuba diving, the researchers made fascinating observations about the structure. The basalt boulders, some as large as 3.2 feet long, appeared to be arranged without any discernible pattern. The rocks displayed natural features, with no evidence of human alteration, no signs of cutting or chiseling. Furthermore, the absence of walls or clear boundaries outlining the structure's perimeter raised questions about its intended purpose. Despite the apparent randomness, the researchers concluded that the structure was human-made, likely constructed on land before being submerged. This assertion was supported by the fact that the nearest natural source of similar rocks was over a mile away. The intentional transportation of these stones to the site indicated a deliberate effort by humans to create the formation as it stands today. However, the precise purpose of the structure remained shrouded in mystery, prompting various theories among the team. Some speculated that it might have served as an ancient calendar or a site for ceremonial gatherings, while others proposed more unconventional ideas, such as a place for sky burials, where the deceased were left for vultures to consume. Adding to the intrigue was the absence of archaeological evidence indicating a nearby settlement or civilization. This lack of context made it challenging to situate the structure within a broader historical framework. Thus, its true purpose and origins remained elusive, igniting curiosity and speculation among the researchers. Some even proposed that it could have been a significant cultural monument, imbued with deep meaning and significance. From a geological perspective, the revelation of this submerged structure has profound implications for our understanding of the Sea of Galilee's history. Its existence points to a time when the lake's water level was lower, providing a glimpse into environmental changes over centuries. This newfound knowledge not only sheds light on ancient times, but also enhances our comprehension of the region's dynamic evolution over the ages. The structure itself, reminiscent of rock cairns found across diverse cultures, evokes images of sacred markers and burial grounds. Such formations often carry deep cultural or religious significance. Yet, despite its striking resemblance to these known structures, researchers grappled with uncertainty regarding its exact purpose. This ambiguity only enhances its allure, fostering a passionate desire for further exploration and inquiry. Ultimately, the quest for truth extends beyond unraveling the mysteries of the submerged structure. It encompasses a broader exploration of the ancient civilizations that once flourished in the region. Each layer of history peeled back reveals connections to the past, inviting us to contemplate the lives and beliefs of those who walked these lands long ago. As Josh and his team continue their pursuit of knowledge beneath the calm surface of the Sea of Galilee, they stand on the brink of uncovering secrets that may redefine our understanding of history itself. Seismic search for hidden secrets. To unravel the mystery, hidden beneath the murky waters, a groundbreaking seismic survey was set in motion. Seismic surveys have been widely used in industries such as oil and gas exploration, where knowing the exact composition of the ground is essential for locating valuable resources. The Earth's crust reacts to disturbances, and seismic waves, vibrations that move through the ground, are used to explore these reactions. By sending seismic waves into the Earth and studying how they travel and reflect off different layers of rock or other materials, scientists can form a detailed picture of the subsurface. For Josh and his team, this method was the key to uncovering the long-buried secrets of the structure lying beneath layers of sediment.
And this is a higher resolution image of the structure.
The success of this mission depended heavily on the team's seismic air guns, a crucial tool in geophysical research. These air guns function by releasing powerful bursts of compressed air into the water. As the team fired the guns, the once calm surface of the sea became a hub of activity, with shock waves radiating deep into the water.
You do this again. Fire! And again. Fire!
The seismic waves generated by these bursts traveled through the seabed, bouncing off submerged objects and then returning to the surface. Sensors, also known as hydrophones, were positioned strategically to capture these returning shock waves. Their job was to record the data necessary to create a detailed map of the underwater environment. As each seismic wave bounced off the structure and returned to the surface, the sensors acted like silent observers, collecting crucial data that would later be analyzed to decode the hidden features below. The seismic experiment required repeated firings of the air guns, each one bringing the team a step closer to revealing the secrets beneath the ocean floor. This process, though repetitive, was essential for gathering accurate data from various angles and depths. The vastness of the sea and the challenging working conditions required focus and determination. Despite the complexities of operating in open waters, the team's resolve remained strong, fueled by the desire to discover what had been concealed for so long. Weeks passed as the team gathered the data they needed. The undersea environment remained mysterious and silent, but every burst of compressed air and every sensor reading added another piece to the puzzle. Slowly but surely, the picture of the submerged structure was beginning to take shape. When the final echo of the seismic waves faded, the survey was complete, and the team returned to the lab to examine the results. Once in the lab, scientists took over the next phase of the investigation, which involved analyzing the vast amounts of data collected. This was no small task. Each reflection from the seismic waves had to be scrutinized, and every sound wave closely examined. Advanced software was used to convert the raw data into a 3D image, revealing the underwater structure in unprecedented detail. What had once been hidden beneath layers of sediment was now coming to life, giving the researchers a glimpse of the past. The 3D image provided not only a visual representation of the structure, but also valuable information about its composition, size, and location. The sediment that had buried the structure for so long was peeled away, layer by layer, to reveal its true form. This discovery was more than just a digital image. It was a window into a forgotten world. The team could now see the structure's intricate design and its potential significance in history. One of the most intriguing aspects of the discovery was that parts of the structure were still buried under layers of sediment. This suggested that it had been submerged for centuries, its presence long obscured by time and natural processes. The seismic data indicated that the structure could have played a crucial role in ancient history, possibly linked to stories from biblical times, including the legend of Miriams Well. This connection, though still speculative, opened the door to exciting new possibilities about the role this structure might have played in the distant past. The Seismic Survey not only uncovered the shape and size of the structure, but also offered valuable insights into its historical importance. By examining the patterns and characteristics of the seismic reflections, the scientists were able to determine that the structure had been built with precision and purpose. Not merely a natural formation, but something created by human hands. Its location and design suggested that it might have been a place of worship, a settlement, or even something more complex. But these questions would require further investigation. The Seismic Survey marked a significant milestone in the team's quest for answers. What had once been a mysterious underwater formation was now revealed to the world. The detailed map generated by the survey would provide the foundation for future studies, allowing researchers to dig deeper into the structure's origins and significance. Miriams Well, a story of faith and survival. The story of the Israelites' journey through the wilderness, as recorded in the book of Exodus, is filled with moments of both faith and fear. One such event is linked to Miriams Well. After the miraculous crossing of the Red Sea led by Moses, the Israelites found themselves in the wilderness of Shur, where they encountered one of their first major challenges, a severe lack of water. For 3 agonizing days, the people wandered through the barren desert, desperate for water, but finding none.
Oh, it comes from the desert. That's the thunder of horses. Look!
The weariness and thirst of the people grew unbearable as they trudged through the unforgiving landscape. At last, they reached a place called Mara and discovered water, raising their hopes of relief. But their hopes were quickly dashed when they realized the water was bitter and undrinkable. The bitterness of Mara seemed to mirror their deepening desperation. Feeling hopeless, they turned to Moses, their leader and mediator between them and God, pleading for help in their time of dire need. Moses, ever the faithful servant of God, sought divine guidance to address the crisis. God instructed Moses to throw a piece of wood into the bitter waters. In a display of divine power, the water underwent a miraculous transformation, turning sweet and drinkable. This act not only saved the Israelites from dehydration, but also served as a powerful reminder of God's ability to provide for His people, even in the most trying circumstances. In Jewish tradition, this water source is sometimes referred to as Miriam's Well, named after Miriam, the elder sister of Moses and Aaron. Miriam was not just a sibling to 2 of the greatest leaders in Jewish history. She was a prophetess and a pivotal figure in her own right. Her presence and influence during the Israelites' exodus from Egypt were profound, and she became associated with the idea of divine sustenance through the provision of water. Miriam's role in the early life of Moses foreshadowed the critical part she would play during the Exodus. When Moses was a baby, she watched over him as he floated in a basket down the Nile, protecting him from Pharaoh's decree to kill all Hebrew baby boys. Her quick thinking and bravery when Pharaoh's daughter discovered the infant, Moses ensured his survival. This early act of vigilance illustrated Miriam's love for her brother and her protective nature. It also symbolized the resilience of the Hebrew people as they defied the oppressive rules of Pharaoh to preserve their culture and their faith. Miriam's influence extended beyond her protection of Moses. According to ancient Jewish law, Miriam's Well accompanied the Israelites during their 40 years of wandering in the desert. The well, often depicted as a rock, traveled with them, ensuring they had access to water in the harsh desert environment. Whenever the Israelites camped, the rock would settle and water would flow from it, sustaining the people in their journey. This miraculous well became a symbol of God's continual provision and care for the Israelites, with Miriam standing as a figure of divine sustenance. As the Israelites approached the end of their long and arduous journey, nearing the Promised Land, they entered the desert of Zin. It was here that Miriam, a beloved and revered figure, passed away. Her death marked a significant moment for the Israelites, as it symbolized the loss of a great leader. More than just a personal loss, her death had immediate practical consequences. The well that had provided water for so long dried up. The drying up of Miriam's well was seen as more than just a natural occurrence. It was a test of faith for the Israelites. They were now faced with the challenge of finding water without the miraculous well that had sustained them for so many years. Miriam's death and the drying of the well symbolized a shift for the Israelites, from relying on Miriam's leadership and the miraculous well to a deeper reliance on their faith in God's guidance. This change pushed the people to find new ways to express their trust and belief as they prepared for the next chapter of their journey. With their water source gone, the Israelites once again turned to Moses for help. In response, God instructed Moses to speak to a rock to bring forth water. But in his frustration and impatience, Moses struck the rock with his staff, instead of speaking to it as God had commanded. Despite his deviation from the divine instructions, water still flowed from the rock, providing much-needed relief to the thirsty people. However, Moses' disobedience did not go unnoticed. His decision to strike the rock rather than speak to it was seen as an act of mistrust in God's specific command. Speaking to the rock would have demonstrated a complete reliance on God's word and a belief in the power of divine will. By choosing to strike the rock, Moses missed an important opportunity to reinforce this trust, and as a consequence, he was denied entry into the Promised Land. Unveiling the Past. The story of the Exodus holds great significance in Jewish, Christian, and Islamic traditions, as it tells of how the Israelites escaped from slavery in Egypt and journeyed through the wilderness under the guidance of Moses. While this tale is usually placed in the late Bronze Age, historians have often debated the accuracy of its historical details. Recently, however, the discovery of the mysterious structure in the Sea of Galilee has sparked new interest in Bronze Age history and its possible connections to the Exodus narrative. This finding not only adds a new layer to our understanding of ancient events, but also reignites discussions about their links to religious stories, encouraging further investigation. When researchers closely examined the structure's 3D image, they were amazed by its large size and detailed craftsmanship, which strongly indicated that it was built by humans rather than by nature. Archaeologists are captivated by its impressive dimensions and the effort required to transport some of its massive boulders, which weigh over 90 kilograms each. Its location, far from the nearest source of basalt rock, raises intriguing questions about the resources and skills that ancient builders had at their disposal. Though its specific use remains a mystery, it's clear that this structure held great significance for those who created it, showcasing the creativity and ingenuity of ancient civilizations. The discovery of this enigmatic underwater structure has opened up a flood of questions, prompting researchers to wonder if it could be connected to the biblical story of Miriam's Well. Could this ancient structure reveal secrets long hidden beneath the waters? With their curiosity piqued, the researchers realized their work was just beginning. The next phase will involve a deeper exploration of the structure, a challenging yet exciting task that could uncover even more fascinating insights into this remarkable archaeological find. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. The team stood in awe, dust swirling around them as the ancient stone doors groaned open. After years of relentless searching, months of trekking through uncharted deserts, and countless dead ends, it had all led to this moment. The inscription on the doorway, barely legible, translated to one phrase that sent chills down everyone's spine. "We finally found Moses' tomb." Dr. Sarah Hastings, the lead archaeologist, stepped forward, her heart pounding in her chest. Could it really be? The world had long debated the resting place of the great prophet, but most dismissed it as a mystery lost to time. Yet here she was, standing before what might be the greatest discovery in human history. Inside the tomb, the air was thick with the scent of antiquity, and the walls were adorned with faded murals depicting the life of Moses, his journey through the desert, the parting of the Red Sea, and his final moments on Mount Nebo. In the center of the room lay a sarcophagus, its stone surface etched with symbols of protection and divine blessing. Sarah's hands trembled as she touched the edge of the sarcophagus. Could this really be Moses, the man who led an entire nation to freedom? The thought seemed impossible, yet undeniable. As the rest of the team gathered around, each person was speechless, knowing they were in the presence of something far greater than any of them could have imagined. But as they prepared to open the tomb, a thought crossed Sarah's mind. Was finding Moses' final resting place truly the end of their quest, or just the beginning of a deeper mystery? Could the tomb hold answers, or perhaps more questions about faith, history, and the divine plan? The enduring mystery of Nabi Musa. The mysteries surrounding Nabi Musa have intrigued humanity for centuries, prompting a relentless quest for Moses' final resting place. A figure revered in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, Moses, or Musa as he is known in Islam, stands as a symbol of shared beliefs and cultural heritage. His extraordinary life continues to inspire countless people. His final resting place has been the subject of speculation and devotion for centuries, drawing those who seek answers to questions that blend the realms of faith, history, and ancient relics. Continuing his journey in pursuit of this elusive truth, Josh's path led him to Nabi Musa, a vast compound dedicated to the prophet Moses. There, amidst the ancient walls and echoes of history, Josh found himself standing on the threshold of what could be one of the greatest discoveries related to Moses. Upon arriving at Nabi Musa, Josh was warmly welcomed by Tafi Dley, an archaeologist and professor of Islamic studies. Tafi, eager to explore the mysteries of Moses' life and death, shared the rich history of the site. When Josh asked about Moses' final resting place, Tafi spoke of Mount Nebo, a site located across the valley in present-day Jordan, which has long been associated with Moses' burial. The mountain has held religious significance since the 4th century, when a church was constructed there to commemorate the biblical figure. Archaeological evidence supports the belief that Moses gazed upon the Promised Land from this location, though he was not allowed to enter it. However, Tafi introduced another perspective, this time from the Islamic tradition. According to the Quran, Moses prayed at his tomb, believed to be on the western side of the Jordan River, within Nabi Musa itself. The site gained further significance in Islamic tradition, as it was connected to Prophet Muhammad's miraculous journey from Jerusalem. With these two competing accounts in mind, Josh inquired about evidence to support the claim that Moses was buried at Nabi Musa. Together, Josh and Tafi ventured deep within the mosque's grounds, descending to what is believed by some to be the ancient tomb of Moses. Standing before the site, Josh felt the weight of centuries of mystery and devotion. The tomb has been a revered place of pilgrimage for many, yet the air is thick with unanswered questions. As they stood in the dimly lit room, Tafi shared the historical legacy of Nabi Musa, recounting tales that had been passed down through generations. This place has a history stretching back to the 13th century, Tafi explained, but the memory of Moses extends far beyond that. The fact that we are still searching for answers shows how deeply Moses has impacted humanity. The mystery, however, is compounded by the blend of history, legend, and faith that surrounds Moses' death and burial. As Tafi reflected, Sorting out the truth from generations of stories is no simple task. Oral traditions have been intertwined with written accounts, forming a complex puzzle that defies easy resolution. Nabi Musa itself has evolved from a quiet sanctuary to a bustling site for pilgrims and tourists alike. People from all over the world come to pay their respects, reflect on their spiritual journeys, and ponder the profound impact Moses has had on the fabric of faith. Despite centuries of exploration and devotion, the search for his final resting place continues to captivate hearts and minds. The significance of Nabi Musa transcends archaeology. It represents the convergence of faiths, the intersection of history and legend, and the human desire to connect with something greater than ourselves. Whether Moses is truly buried within its walls or not, Nabi Musa serves as a testament to his enduring legacy, reminding us of the profound influence he has had on the spiritual and historical narrative of humanity. As Josh and Taffy left the tomb, the mystery of Moses' final resting place remained unsolved. A journey through faith and history. As Josh left Nabi Musa, he felt both awe and a sense of wonder, realizing that some mysteries might always remain beyond our reach. Yet he found comfort in the journey itself, the pursuit of truth and the peace we gain from our beliefs. The mystery of Moses' tomb is another layer in the enigma of his final resting place, one that has intrigued and fascinated people for centuries. Some even speculate that God intentionally kept the location of Moses' grave hidden. Though the Bible doesn't offer a clear explanation for this, many scholars have explored various theories. One prevailing idea is that God concealed Moses' body to prevent it from becoming an object of worship. Given Moses' immense importance, there was concern that people might venerate his physical remains, placing them above their devotion to God. By keeping the tomb a mystery, the focus remained on Moses' teachings and his spiritual legacy rather than his earthly presence. Even with Mount Nebo being tied to Moses' death, his burial site remains shrouded in uncertainty. According to Deuteronomy 34 verse 6, Moses died on Mount Nebo and was buried in a valley near Beth Peor, but the exact spot of his grave has never been revealed. Mount Nebo holds immense historical and spiritual significance and continues to be revered today. The Bible, particularly in the book of Deuteronomy, describes how Moses climbed Mount Nebo, located in what is now Jordan, to view the promised land of Canaan before his death. In 2 Maccabees, the prophet Jeremiah is said to have hidden the tabernacle and the Ark of the Covenant in a cave on the mountain. This further enhances Mount Nebo's mystical aura. Over time, a Christian church from the Byzantine era was built on its summit, adding another layer of historical reverence to the site. In modern times, Mount Nebo remains a place of pilgrimage. On March 20th, 2000, Pope John Paul II visited during his pilgrimage to the Holy Land, planting an olive tree next to the Byzantine chapel as a symbol of peace. 9 years later, in 2009, Pope Benedict XVI also made a pilgrimage to Mount Nebo, delivering a speech and admiring the breathtaking view toward Jerusalem. Today, a striking serpentine cross sculpture, designed by Italian artist Gianpaolo Fantoni, stands atop the mountain. This cross reflects both the bronze serpent miracle that Moses performed in the wilderness, as mentioned in Numbers chapter 21, and the cross on which Jesus was crucified. Beth Peor, the burial site mentioned in the Bible, holds deep biblical meaning, serving as a reminder of Israel's struggles with idolatry. Beth Peor was originally a Moabite city, linked to the worship of Baal, a Moabite deity. But after the Israelites conquered the area, it was renamed Beth Peor, symbolizing the rejection of idolatry and the embrace of monotheism. This transformation held great significance for the Israelites, reminding them of the importance of staying faithful to God's commandments and resisting the temptation of false gods. God's choice of Beth Peor as Moses' burial site seems intentional, sending a profound message about the dangers of idol worship. While the exact location of Moses' grave might never be known, this uncertainty serves as a spiritual lesson in itself, urging believers to trust in the divine mysteries and focus on their faith rather than physical relics. The quest to uncover Moses' burial site, as well as the strange underwater formation recently discovered beneath the Sea of Galilee, has ignited a new wave of exploration. This search stretches across time and geography, from the peaceful shores of the Galilean Sea to the ancient paths of Nabi Musa, all driven by the human desire to solve ancient puzzles. Though we sift through layers of history and study ancient texts, the enigma of Moses' final resting place continues to captivate us. It may always remain just beyond our grasp, but the journey of discovery itself is what keeps the mystery alive, drawing us closer to understanding the spiritual and historical legacy Moses left behind. Could the mystery of Moses' final resting place be a divine reminder to focus on his legacy rather than the physical location of his tomb? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.